I'm Billy Wenbourne. We've been here for 5 generations. We are a commercial cattle operation, and on our farm side we just grow enough feed to winter our cows and calves on.
I'm Jolene Wenbourne. Myself, I grew up on a farm right from the time I was little too, and more farm related. I liked it, but the animals was more my thing. Never really got the opportunity until I married into here, the kind of egg part that I really liked. So.
And I'm Ace Wenbourne. I grew up right in this house, and I wanted to get as far away as possible when I was 18, but I ended up moving a quarter mile up the road, so I was still close to everything. So
Now I can't get rid of you at supper time.
no, I'm here for supper every night, but I'm also here to help all the time too.
The 5 generations go back to William Gordon Wenbourne, who left with his parents from England and arrived in the States, and they ended up in Correctionville, Iowa, and started farming. And as a young boy, he heard about Canada wanting Americans to come and homestead in Canada, which he made a trip when he was about 24 years old and decided, yes, this is what he wanted to do, and he came north of Tabor and claimed his homestead. From there, for the next 20 years, he had very successful years. Then the dirty 30s hit, the drought. There was dust bowls, depression, and they never had a crop for 8 to 9 years. So consequently, he lost a lot of the land that he owned to taxes. Some of that land was sold for $1 an acre because they would have lost it if they hadn't sold it. Then Lynn's dad stepped in. That would be Billy's grandfather stepped in. Him and his brother decided that they would work very hard, which they did, to salvage some of the land. And this is part of the land that Billy's on right now. Lynn and I, that's Billy's dad and myself, we bought it in the early 60s. And this is the legacy that William Gordon Wenbourne passed on to his future generations.
We've been here for 5 generations, this will be the 5th. And it kind of stays the same, but it doesn't. Things change. What my dad did. There's some stuff I still do pretty much the same, but there's lots of things that we've had to adjust and change, and just to be more efficient in time and in expenses too. And I'm sure Ace, if he's wanting to take over, he'll make some adjustments that I'm not aware of right now that'll work better for him than for us, but it just seems like you always have to change to maintain a forward progress all the time. And we're not out there getting everything the latest and greatest, because some things that was made or designed 50 years ago or 100 years ago, it's still you know, using horses when we round up. You know, we'll use quads too, but there's a lot of things that we do with horses still, and it'll probably never change. You know, when Dad was still alive, and you know, in the wintertime, you would go to town and work at the sugar factory to make a little extra money. And Ace works at Western Tractor as a heavy-duty mechanic, just to keep things
Jobs on the side.
to keep things rolling. But everybody helps out.
I've helped with the baling and numerous years, and
Give medicine to the cows and calves.
I do the preg testing and all kinds of stuff. Pretty much anything. Definitely a family operation. Everybody helps.
Efficiency is probably the biggest thing of how we can manage. We don't have no hired employees. It's us 4 here and my 2 sisters, and we'll get help every once in a while on certain things. If we're working with the animals, branding our calves or weaning or preg checking, there'll be a few people that'll come and give us a hand for the day. You know, Western Tractor, before it became Western Tractor, it used to be Green Power, and the nice thing about what happened in Tabor was there was a lot of the employees from Green Power that moved right into Western Tractor. They brought everybody over and kept everything the same. It just made, I just think that Western Tractor should be commended on the way they handled that, because it was, you know, there was
Good for all
no,
the customers.
it was good for all the customers, and you know, they made everybody feel at home just like the previous owner did.